You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hey there, listeners, and welcome to another episode of the Earth Station Who podcast. And this time, it's going to be a fun one. We are going to be looking at Disney Takes on Doctor Who. That's right, folks. We have talked about it. We've hinted at, since we got the announcement about 2 months ago, that Disney was investing in Doctor Who, and we're doing it as a live episode. And I thought it would be kind of fun to get quite a few different people's opinions, and we got a great crew to talk all about this. And we are also, of course, doing this live up on, Facebook, up on YouTube, also in the different groups. So, and you at home also can also participate. So this is going to be a lot of fun. And as always, feedback at earthstationwho.com is the best way to email us, unless you're in the live chat as we're going on. Let's introduce our regulars for tonight. Of course, let's say hey to Ms. Mary Ogle. Mary,
hi,
hey.
everybody. It is fantastic to be here.
Ready to put your ears on and sing It's a Small World After All?
I am so ready.
Exactly. And of course, let's say hi to Mr. Mike Gordon.
Howdy.
How are you, my friend?
I am fine. I am fine and dandy, zippity doo-dah.
Exactly. Ready to see the Doctor take on the Matterhorn or go on a wild ride with Mr. Toad or something like that?
I don't think we're quite there yet, but yeah, there's some interesting things to talk about for sure.
It's going to be very interesting. We got a couple guests joining us. Of course, our regular, when we do live episodes, let's welcome Melanie Dean to the show.
Hello, everybody. Oh my God, I'm regular
awesome.
when doing live.
Yay, exactly. We might actually, build a special place for you here on the station.
I would love that.
Oh,
okay.
Tears
of happiness. But yeah,
exactly. But yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun, and we also have Dave Chapman joining us. Welcome, sir. How are you?
Hey, good to be back.
So it's going to be a lot of fun tonight, and want to say hi to everybody who is joining us online, and we already have people lining up in the chat, and we're getting people going, let's go, come on, let's talk.
Hurry up. Get it started.
Exactly. So it's going to be interesting, and we have a lot to touch on. There hasn't been a ton of Doctor Who news since Christmas time when they released the trailer, and so there's been sightings of folks on stage, on set and everything, but let's not focus on that tonight. We'll talk about that when we come back with our regular show.
The announcement of the two unit folks was official, though, right?
Yeah,
yes.
that is official.
It is official. So you can say it if you want, Mike.
That's all I can say. I don't have it in front of me. Sorry, I don't.
Well, you brought it up, Mike Gordon. You have to wear it now. So it's awesome.
I know.
So
it's Gemma Redgrave, and I can't pronounce the other guy's name.
So it's going to be interesting. And was it for, though? I did see that Gemma was announced, but was it for the 60th special? For the new season with Chudy?
No, I think it's the new season with Chudy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's cool. So that's pretty awesome. And if you guys want to jump in on chat, we have everyone going, hello there, what's up, everyone, let's go, woohoo, hey y'all. So we have a ton of people already being friendly up on that. And so are we going to actually end up seeing Mickey ears on the TARDIS? That's the question.
No.
People are worried about that and everything.
Yeah, that's a worry.
I don't think we're going to see Mickey ears, but I think you're not going to hear anything anti-Disney coming out of the Doctor's mouth.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or anything too controversial in general.
Or anti-corporate conglomerate.
Exactly. So we won't see this.
It's actually been pretty anti, so in other shows.
So it's actually somebody just asked, and this is a good question, that if it will be shown all on Disney Plus or will it not be on BBC America anymore? and
Nope.
I don't think it's.
Anymore.
I think it's going to be gone from BBC America.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah,
on
my
the
understanding
BBC.
is that it's going to be on BBC in the UK, and everywhere else it's going to be on Disney Plus.
Exactly. And so, anything that you've seen with HBO Max is over with. Doctor Who new series is going to be completely on Disney Plus, and it's actually most likely going to end up looking something like this when you go to,
Yeah,
most
Mhm.
likely.
absolutely.
So-
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you're going to see it probably Doctor Who as a category along with Marvel and Star Wars.
Mhm.
And, so
I don't think so.
you don't?
I don't think so. No, I don't think I don't think Doctor Who is gonna get its own little box there on the top, because most of those items are things that Disney owns outright.
Right.
So I would be surprised. I mean, look, we don't know exactly how much content they're getting. I know we'll talk and speculate and everything like that about exactly how much they're getting, but right now, all we know is that they're getting the new series, probably from Eccleston on, and then that's it. And that's not enough to have its own tab.
No, but
Yeah, it
there
is.
also is rumor
Yeah,
going
sure
that,
it is.
that's almost 15 seasons of
Yeah.
a series. And so, yeah, I definitely think it's a reason to give it its own tab. And also, I think you're also probably going to get Sarah Jane maybe included with that, and also
We don't know
possibly
that.
even Torchwood. So
It's possible. We don't know that.
no,
We can
but
hope.
we can hope that. And I would love to eventually see that we'll get maybe classic series down the line somewhere. But
Well, there's one where I would say I'd be shocked if we didn't get, and that's the Eighth Doctor,
yes,
because Disney already owns half of it.
exactly.
Yeah, the Fox half.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
so
I think
that's
that
what
is
I'm
a
super
possibility.
excited about.
Mhm.
Also, I bet they're already exploring options for spin-offs.
Oh,
So,
they already are. They
Yeah, so I'm
come
sure
out and
we're
said
going to
that.
get other things.
RTD has already come out and said there's going to be spin-offs, and if it's going to be, BBC property, it's going to be on Disney then, because it's going to be tied in with Doctor Who. And so I think it's going to be real interesting to see what we're going to get with that.
Mhm.
So I think it's going to be I think it's a good thing, because we're also going to be getting Disney money for production and stuff.
Well, that's the big thing, right? Now this influx of money, the show's being produced by Bad Wolf. Sony's got a stake in it as well, because they have a little bit of a stake in Bad Wolf. And then, of course, Disney is showing it. So, of course, they're going to have input as well. And that's a lot of money. That's more money, I think, than Doctor Who's ever had.
I mean, it's interesting because part of that worries me because I wonder if the character of the show is going to change, because frankly, part of its charm is it's kind of made on a shoestring type of thing, even though obviously the production values are a lot better now than they used to be, but still,
yeah, very much
so sometimes when you have money dumped on you like that, the results are not what you want them to be. But it doesn't have to be that way. I don't mean to be a pessimist.
I don't think you're going to be getting like Star Trek level, special effects and such. But I think it'll be still light years above even what we've had in the last 2 years, 3 years with Doctor Who.
We'll see. I'm very interested.
I hope so.
See how
I want to see
goes.
the money on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but in addition to like special effects, though, I think we also will get maybe higher profile actors appearing as well. I think that's a possibility. There were some actors who we've known and heard throughout the years that wanted to be in Doctor Who, but they just couldn't make it work because their agent wanted too much money, et cetera, et cetera. And so now I think we will still see higher profile actors involved, which will be nice.
And even directors, maybe even writers, are putting more money towards that as well.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that.
I really
I'm more excited by that.
They would put money towards that.
It would be nice.
Yeah.
Because,
they've thrown a little bit of that money into their hiding of advertising already. If you bring up that picture of Shooty again with the clouds behind him, that's not, they've come out and said that's not what that scene is. Those clouds are there to obscure what is actually happening in that scene.
Right.
So they're doing a great job of slipping out little tidbits of rumors, and RT was trolling us horribly until they actually announced Shooty. But yeah, and then obscuring that. That's a very Disney Marvel way of doing it, and Sony for that matter. They added out 2 out of 3 Spider-Man in the trailer for
because they didn't want to. Yeah, because they didn't want to show all their cards.
Right. Yeah. And I love that they do that. I think it's awesome that, because you don't need to see everything that's in there. And it's nice to be surprised and have something to your imagination and such. And it's interesting too, because, I've seen people like running around like Chicken Little and like, oh, Disney's going to be taking over everything. And truthfully, both with Marvel and Star Wars, I think it's been a plus that Disney's been, supplying, a new place for us to see these characters on television, on a streaming service and everything. And
but even then,
I think it's going to open it up to a bigger audience than ever before.
A bigger audience for sure. Yeah. It's a different relationship though. Yes. Like I said, Disney owns those. Disney does not own Doctor Who. Disney doesn't own part of Doctor Who. It's just a distributor of Doctor Who, which is giving Doctor Who a lot of money. Now, of course, that means they do have some say in it, but they don't have, as far as we know, as far as Russell said, the buck stops with him. He decides everything. He's the main guy. So, obviously he'll be influenced. But if it was anybody else at the helm, and I think that's why it was really important that Russell come back. Not just because, we're going to set the Doctor Who train on the right tracks, but now with everything that we were unsure about as far as Disney's involvement, Sony's involvement, all these money players getting involved, I think it's important to have someone who we know, your mileage may vary, but we know at least respects the property and will not stray too far. As Mary was concerned about, I don't think it's going to stray too far because Russell's at the helm.
I agree that I think that's a big part of it. And one of the reasons why I'm not as worried about it as I might be, because Russell knows how to stand his ground. I actually think some other showrunners who won't be named would have been walked all over.
Oh, God, very much so.
Yeah, I don't think RTD is going to allow that to happen, though who knows what's going to happen with the showrunner after him. Because I also think this is Disney's way of weaseling in on owning Doctor Who, because they want Doctor Who. They've wanted Doctor Who for a long time, because it's one of the few last really big sci-fi properties out there, and they already have Star Wars and Marvel. And this is a start of I think trying to get more stake in Doctor Who, and where it'll go. Who knows? We'll see. I have mixed feelings about what Disney has done with Star Wars and Marvel. Some of it's been good, and some of it's been bad.
Well, exactly, and we've had that with Doctor Who though over the years.
Well, we have that with everything. I'm not blaming Disney for everything bad that's ever happened.
Damn you, mouse. No.
I think Disney taking up the distribution rights to it, yes, it is kind of their foot in the door if they want to be in that conversation should, Doctor Whoever it gets sold, which I don't think that is ever going to be on the table because it's BBC and the government's not going to give away a bargaining chip that actually gives them money. That's a revenue stream. But I do think that Disney at least knows that when it comes to where it learned from Fox, that having distribution rights can make its own, is worth its own weight in gold, since that's something that can help with them. They got worldwide. They didn't get just US. They got worldwide. They were able to wrestle away the Doctor Who from the ABC, meaning the Australian broadcasting channel. That was a 50-year partnership.
I was going to say
that they went,
okay,
Disney has it. So I know Australians are extremely colorful language angry about that.
Well, I know people. I know Dave, like folks up in Canada, because it's
Yep.
changing over to Disney also there too.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's already been pulled. It's been streaming on Crave, which is owned by Bell Media. They've had all the streaming rights back to Eccleston, and it's gone as of about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. So
Wow.
it's made that move
So
already.
it's already pulled.
Dave, were you now for New Who? Was the only way you could see that in Canada a paying service, or was
No,
that
it was broadcast on Sci-Fi, which is basically our
okay? So
version
now
of-
you'll have to pay. Now
Basically.
everybody will have to pay for it.
Right.
So
You'll
I
have
would
to
imagine
subscribe
with
to
that
Disney
kind
Plus.
of with those kind of things, that does upset a lot of fans because all of a sudden they
part of-
have to subscribe to something and pay for something that they were getting for free.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and part of the oddity of that is also that things like Picard, like all the Star Treks that were Paramount Plus only, were broadcast on TV here
Oh,
through that same, Bell conglomerate. Same thing with a lot of the HBO stuff. Is just it's not an extra subscription service. It's just going through the regular services, but now it's on a separate thing, and that's
A facet of
For
being
better
a
or for
Commonwealth
worse.
has been stripped away from you. You've been taking
Yes.
Doctor Who away.
Exactly.
That's it. Take all the monarchy off our money. We lost Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. And, as we keep on saying, all New Who will be being moved over from here in the States, the HBOs and BBC America. It'll all be moved onto Disney Plus. And the only places that's not going to be is in Ireland and in the UK.
Mhm.
So it's going to be very interesting to see, because that's, the stream, some people still don't stream, or a lot of people are anti-Disney and they didn't want Disney Plus. But in truth, that's the reason I originally subscribed to AMC Plus, is to be able to get Sci-Fi America, BBC America, because I don't have cable anymore. And so, that's the only way I was able to watch Flux or the holiday specials. I'm saying that biting my cheek and my mouth and everything at the same time. But
Nice.
we're not going there tonight. So it's
Mhm.
just a lot of, so I know I'm going to keep the service because AMC is putting out some amazing shows right now. But before that, it was mostly originally getting it for Doctor Who. But, thank goodness, I already had a subscription to Disney Plus, and I won't have to pay extra to get Doctor Who on it.
Yeah, I wonder if you're going to be able to buy episodes from Amazon like you can now.
Mm.
Because even though they're
Or-
being
or
distributed on
Apple.
HBO Max, but you can buy them on Amazon, or Apple.
yeah, that's a good question.
So,
Right. So
That would be
interesting.
a great source of revenue. I would be surprised if they didn't have that option, but I don't know enough to know that if they do or not.
Right.
Yeah. I haven't looked.
Someone in the group asked if there was a date for when Doctor Who will be moved off of like BBC America and HBO. HBO, it's a day by day thing because you just never know what's going on with HBO Max anyway.
or if
But
Max will even exist in a year.
well, it's true.
They've been a little rocky.
Mhm.
But it's going to be interesting to see. From what I've heard it's supposed to leave, Doctor Who's supposed to leave HBO probably towards the end of summer and start making the transition over to Disney in
But-
time
and that's
for
gonna-
the 60th anniversary.
And that is going to vary by country. Like I said, we've already lost it. We
Right.
lost it a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, it'll vary very much by country and the existing contracts that are out there.
Right.
Yeah. Mentioning Warner Brothers and what's going on over there in HBO Max is an interesting point too, because we're seeing everything that's happening over there, and that's a nightmare scenario. Now, Disney seems a little bit more consistent, and yet recently, over the last few months, they've gone through a huge CEO change where they got rid of, and I think the Doctor Who deal was done under Bob's watch, Bob Chapek, and now Iger's back. So, and he's probably there just to sort of help right the ship for a little while, a couple years, 2-3 years, I think is what they said. And then he's trying to groom somebody else. So there's a lot of things still in play as far as what could happen with the Doctor Who franchise while Disney itself is going through some changes.
It'll be very
Wasn't
interesting
Bob-
to see.
Wasn't Iger still chairman of the board though? With all throughout, even though I know he stepped down being CEO, and that Chapek was the CEO, but I thought I could be wrong that Iger was still chairman of the board, so he was still.
I don't think so because he was consulting for he was consulting for Warner Brothers actually.
Oh,
Like,
Ooh.
yeah.
it was
So I don't know that for sure, but I don't know. I don't think he had any direct involvement, at least in the Doctor Who deal, anyway.
Right. I know quite a few people are worried that's going to end up looking at Doctor Who's going to eventually look like that.
Goofy is the next.
I love that. I love that art, but no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay, Clarabelle. Oh wait, no.
Exactly. So it could have been really cool to have Clarabelle as the 13th Doctor. Could have been really cool. But it would have been interesting. It's going to be. I'll be very curious to see what happens though with, because even though we're saying, BBC still owns the rights and everything, I'm sure Disney's going to have some suggestions, in the process.
I'm sure.
And some, hey, could we do this? Could we do that? And I will tell you this, if Disney's anywhere involved with this, I hope we're going to see more merchandise than we have the last couple of years and everything. And
yeah, I don't see Disney being involved with that unless they're making a separate deal. I do think though, the thing that's really, once it is on the platform of Disney Plus, what I'm going to be really interested to see is if it's one of those shows like some of the Marvel Netflix shows that's only available for adult viewers, or if they're going to allow it for kids, because that in and of itself is going to tell us what kind of show we're probably going to get as far as what Russell's going to give us. And I tend to think Russell would want it to be a little bit more mature, but then again, it's Doctor Who. It's supposed to be for kids too, right? All ages.
Yeah. I don't know. RTD always sort of leans more towards the adult.
He does.
So,
yeah.
And it is possible they're even
Torchwood.
planning some sort of, kid options that are Doctor Who based.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get another Torchwood like Dave just said. I don't think we're going to get something like that.
No.
Do you think that's because of why do you say that is? Do you think that's because of Barrowman?
No,
not at all. I mean, I would love to see him back, but no, I think we're not going to see another Torchwood in the context of we're not going to see Doctor Who butts. We're not going to see a mature for adults
I see what
Doctor
you mean.
Who.
Yeah. I got
We will see Torchwood come back as it stands, but I don't think we're going to see a mature Doctor Who because that's not what it is intended as. I mean, there's always been a scare factor. You get all the stories of even some of the actors going, "Oh, I was hiding behind my couch because of the Daleks," back from the 60s and the 70s, and we're not. So there's always going to be that level, and that level has changed between the 60s and now. But so I don't see it being in a label as adults only. Torchwood, yes, definitely. But just regular Doctor Who, I cannot see it not being
so you don't see it being like everybody. Along the lines of like the Netflix series like Jessica Jones and all that. You don't think they'll go that far with Doctor Who?
I don't think they'll go that far.
No.
With Doctor Who, no, but maybe Torchwood. I think I think if they bring back Torchwood, yes. I think we'll see it in a different way. I don't think Barrowman would be brought back. I think it would be maybe we'll see Gwen. Just my own kind of coming out of my head, just saying that, based on nothing. But I think might be more adulty. It might be more darker because Disney can turn around with the whole distribution thing and say, "Look, let me show you Andor." This is we don't shy away more adult.
I was thinking of Andor as well
in a brand. Yeah. So I'm thinking that to the point that you had brought up when it comes to merch, I don't see. I mean, yes, Disney, of course, would be like, please, can we have merchandising rights? And I can see BBC going, no, we do want to make some money. Thank you.
Right.
However,
I don't think they're making a lot of money on merch now because they aren't putting anything out.
No,
I know. Well, Disney used to, in Epcot, they used to have a Doctor Who area at the UK pavilion, and it slowly went to nothing. I do see Disney saying, hey, let's put that stuff back in here again because the ulterior motive is selling more Disney Plus subscriptions. So I could see them trying to insert some stuff in there to help get more
Yeah.
subscriptions going.
You might actually even see Disney Park exclusive items to, make people go to the parks more. And, I don't think we're going to see a Doctor Who ride at Disney anytime in the near future.
Doctor
But
Who,
you're
yeah.
going to see maybe a Doctor Who exhibit maybe at the UK pavilion at Epcot. I could definitely see that happening.
Mhm.
And then being more
I
open to
wish
that.
I couldn't, but I can definitely see TARDIS ears happening. I hate that, but I don't
Oh,
see we're gonna see ears
pins.
on Doctor Who, but we're gonna see Doctor Who ears.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
buy them.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
Sadly,
also
probably I will
the big thing is that, with this deal, I think it allows more people to see it, more people to be excited by it, and ultimately that's going to inspire and demand more merchandise be made. So I think we're going to get more Doctor Who merchandise, but maybe I don't think it's going to be Disney owned or anything. But I do think we're going to get more because of this, because just the viewership is going to be, and it'll be something that people will be talking about.
Right. Another user out there said, I would love to see Doctor Who merchandise through Disney, as there are problems with the brick and mortar and Royal Mail sending anything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So,
And I'm down for the hashtag below it. I'm 100. I if I have to have ears, I want the Fez with Mickey ears.
Fez with Mickey ears.
We're gonna
Yeah.
do that. Do it right.
Yeah, I would sign on to that as well.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And, you're going to see sonic screwdrivers at Disney sooner than later.
Yeah.
So I just think it's just a matter of time. So I definitely, think, like Alan just wrote, with Russell T in charge, there definitely will be a new emphasis on merchandising. And
Yeah, I agree that RTD is going to have a say in that.
because he did an amazing job when the series first came back.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
you
he understands that aspect of it.
yeah,
Lord knows what Funko Pops are being produced right now in China.
well, exactly. Oh,
They're- they're making stuff.
for the 60th anniversary. Sure,
Yeah.
I'd almost guarantee it. So, wait till San Diego this summer. You're going to start seeing it starting to pop up there. I'm sure.
All the exclusive ones.
Oh yeah.
But it wouldn't be at the BBC America booth.
No.
No, it won't be a
What lines do I wait in?
It'll probably be at the Disney booth.
if Disney Plus has a booth, then that's where it's going to
Yeah.
Maybe Titan
So.
or something.
So exactly, because we haven't gotten new Doctor Who Funkos since Jodie's first season.
Mhm.
I think that was it, because they did like Tim Shaw, they did the Kablam Man or whatever it was, the mailman, and
Yeah.
you also had two different Jodies, or actually three different Jodies.
And
but you
the
didn't
fact
get,
that they've only done a handful of doctors is just criminal to me. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
exactly. So it's interesting. So it's Gen Xers and millennials want their toys.
Mhm.
So
Nothing wrong with that.
Looking up, going.
Nope.
no, exactly.
And I think Funko's aware of that too. Because I mean, I did have a conversation, because there's a game called Funkoverse, and it's basically like Smash Brothers with Funkos. I said, hey, if you ever have a Doctor Who one, I need to get a hold of this, because reviewing board games and Doctor Who is kind of a thing I do. And they're like, well, there's nothing we can say, but if you could have that, what would you like to see?
Oh, yeah.
So it's, there's
Being a
definitely
user
some.
experience person, I do know what that means, so it's okay.
Yeah, doesn't always mean everything. Yeah, but it's like, so we'll see. There's anything that could happen. Really, anything could happen. Just kind of full stop.
Yeah, it's kind of a whole new world. I mean, this feels to me like a bigger change
Especially
than
with
Chris Chibnall coming on.
Oh
Just
yeah.
the whole Disney tie-in just really is a game changer. And so I'm very excited.
Well, I
for the
noticed
Picturing the
story and
Doctor
where
on
we're
a
going.
magic carpet now. Yeah, you
I
had
saw
to use that
that,
phrasing.
A whole new world.
Oh, can you imagine that we'll maybe get to Meep the Beep on a Funko Pop?
Yes, it's already basically one. That's another. That's
Jeremy-
another side of this too.
Yeah.
We know that, and this is why I'm kind of wondering if this deal wasn't a little bit in the works farther back than we know. We've got the Wraith Warriors and Meet the Beep coming in. We know this from the commercials.
Right.
It's not a spoiler, and those are Marvel characters. Those are comic book characters, not regular BBCs. So I can't help wondering if this whole thing with Disney didn't help in that conversation or push into that conversation, and what that storyline is going to be.
We might actually get the Dalek Killer in the series, which would be kind of interesting. You have to read the comics, guys, to understand that one.
Death's Head. Give me Death's Head.
Yeah.
I saw that Jeremy posted in the comments about our thoughts on the Whoverse wall art at the Bad Wolf Studios, and I saw this post by Alan earlier this afternoon of it's Shooty in front of the Bad Wolf Studios like lobby or something, and there's a big sign that says Whoverse. Or Who Inverse? Is it Whoverse or Who Inverse? Whooniverse, right? And so that tells me that yes, Russell has like big plans for this to expand out, into all sorts of things in terms of content wise.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, we know that this is kind of the biggest thing on Bad Wolf's plate. That's why Bad Wolf exists, and we've been calling it the Whooniverse for years. So, does it mean anything? Probably, but it could just well be a recognition of that's just what we call it, and always have.
I mean, it's also been his. I mean, that's what he brought to the table, whatever it was a decade ago when he spun off. Like was it 4 shows total?
4.
At least 3.
Are you including
Three.
K9?
I feel like it was 4. Might have been 4.
I was, because there was Torchwood, Sarah Jane. There was a K9 show, but I don't know if he had anything to do with that.
The
And
Australian one?
Class.
And Class was his or was not his?
I thought it
Class.
was
Class
No,
is?
Class was...
No, Class was not his.
No,
No?
Class
Okay.
was, what's his name? Was that other
Moffat?
guy. Moffat.
Well, it wasn't even Moffat. It was that other guy.
Oh, another other guy. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, those other guys. Because we're the Doctor Who experts, we just don't know it.
Right. I'm terrible with names. I admit it. He's a writer guy.
And Class was their attempt to do something like, sort of urban fantasy targeting young adults, sort of like the CW kind of thing, and it just did not work.
No, it was actually really painful to watch and everything. And
I still haven't.
Don't worry about it. You haven't just-
They
Life's too short to watch Class.
No,
They continued it in Big Finish.
I actually feel really bad because our friend Mike Faulkner, who goes through the whole series, and he's even doing the spin-offs in order. He's actually up to Class right now, and he's doing.
no.
He just did I think this week he's going to be doing the 2nd episode of Class.
Oh, the poor guy.
So Patrick Ness was the person.
Yes, thank you.
So thank you, Facebook users. We love you. Thank you, guys. We need to be doing this more because it's great having a running, conversation with people correcting us as we're recording this.
Yeah, well,
Which is the best way.
Help, I need a name.
Exactly. Actually, this is pretty interesting that Alan wrote. I think the Whoverse definitely means something because I seriously doubt that Disney would be going into this deal with just to get 10 new episodes per year. There has to be more in the works.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's absolutely true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the same time, they're not just getting 10 a year. They're getting, 15 years of New Who and, 60 years of going back. So there is something more than just 10 new episodes a year.
I really
to the
think
table.
we're going to eventually see the classic series on Disney. So I really do.
I would love that.
Eventually.
I would love that,
It won't be
especially
right
as
away.
they are, they have made a pretty good effort to update them with all the Blu-ray releases that they've done, so that they are going to be higher quality. So I would love to see that continue, and to have them on Disney Plus is a great excuse for that. And it's also a great excuse for them to finish animating all the missing episodes.
Please.
And access to more animators.
Uh-huh.
That's actually a terrifying thought. Is that it could be? That's if we're gonna get Disneyfied Doctor, that could be where it is. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I think
they would. Well, they do have all the audio from all these missing episodes, so and the scripts and everything. So, not that it's easy to animate. Trust me, I know. I studied that in college, and it's a lot of work, even if it's computer animation now. But it still takes time. You can't just whip them out in 24 hours or something.
Sure, but they're getting like the big problem is that with the classic series being on BritBox and the DVD releases not really selling that well because they don't market them, but very well. But they don't have the funds. That's why they've stopped doing it. And with Disney Plus money coming in, I mean, you can start back up.
No, I agree completely.
So I think it's more likely Disney would spend its money on new animated series. Like they have the Star Wars animations.
True.
I think Disney's
the further
more likely to want to
K9
come up
or
with new content than to spend its resources on animating the old content.
But at the same time, that is something new for a lot of people, right? There's something you said, yes, here's new stories, but here's new stuff that you haven't seen before because it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
is still something new and a different marketing spin.
Yeah, to everybody who's here with us tonight, none of us have seen, because none of us are old enough to have seen a lot of these missing episodes when they originally aired and such. I read the Target books, but I didn't get to, see the other stuff. So, and I would
because almost everything that's missing is from the first and second Doctor era, which the people w'ho've actually seen those are few and far between.
Well, you have to be well into your 60s by this point. Yeah, to be able to
remember it.
Yeah,
I was going to say to remember it even older. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe
to remember it accurately.
But that's a whole different story, So, Rob Webb actually said, "I would love to see some classic Who on Disney Plus. It would almost make up for them being evil." So that's true.
Glad to see you over here, Rob. No, they are evil. I think they want all the content in the world. Down a little bit farther down there, if they'd be interested, yes, they will. They want all of the content ever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is. I think in a lot of cases.
Would you, another Facebook user asked, would the old Doctors interest younger viewers on Disney? That's
no, that's not what he's at. Would the Doctors interest Disney, not younger viewers that are watching Disney? Disney as a company, I think, would 100% wants that because it's a different demographic. Will the
more subscribers
viewers watch it? I have doubts. Having been in the theater when they put out Power of the Daleks, I saw people walking out of that. And I think we talked about this on a different episode where people were walking out because they're used to the massive fast pace of run, Doctor, not the 1960s serialized slow story.
Yeah. And even them really not, that animation style did not lend to nuance and body language. And that was very theatrical. It was very presented there. It was very acted theatrical. It was shot theatrical so that you would have saw nuance for that much vocal pausing. And that animation style just made it look like it was just little paper doll puppets just going.
Right.
Also,
pretty much.
Very much so. Yeah. But at least with Disney, they have better animators and
they do.
They do.
Yeah.
And I would love to do it, and I think they would get it pretty spot on, truthfully, with some of the animations and stuff. And you might have to do it. They might give you the option to get it on disc like you do now. But most likely they'll have a special on Disney Plus. Now available on Disney Plus, Marco Polo or something with the first Doctor.
If I'm completely blue skying, I have as much money as Disney wants to actually spend into this project because they're not going to do this. No one's going to be enough people. But if you want to give me a Rogue One Peter Cushing that's actually the first Doctor and everyone else is acting around it and they just screen the people, I would watch that. Yeah. I would enjoy it. I'd be like, not anybody else is going to spend that much money into that kind of project, but But to your point, they have much more better animators. They have the money and budget to maybe do something a little bit better than what the other, like Power of the Daleks, was so constricted to do. What they had, what they had, and what they could do with what money they had, I did enjoy it. But to Dave's point, yeah, I saw there was people out of my theater in Florida walking out of it going, "This is just terrible." I'm going,
Yeah, let's also keep in mind too that even Russell was like, let's just we are getting an influx of budget, but it's not like you guys think it's a huge amount. He said like he's actually quoted by saying it's been exaggerated. If that was the budget, I'd be speaking to you from my base on the moon. Like he's like, look, we are getting a handsome budget and we're very happy with it, but he says we're not getting a Game of Thrones or Rings of Power budget.
Yeah.
No,
he didn't say he doesn't have a. He didn't say he didn't have a budget to build the base on the moon.
He just can't.
Just that he didn't have the budget to actually stream from there. So
exactly.
Yeah. He says he still spends 75% of his day trying to work out how many monsters they can afford. So, it's still struggle. It's still a struggle for the budget of the show. So they're not like dumping like billions of dollars into this franchise.
No, it's true.
Someone was asking online about Big Finish, but Big Finish is its own beast. It's not involved at all with this Disney deal.
Not involved at all. I do think they benefit because if Doctor Who's more popular, they're more popular. What they're doing is more popular. So I do think so. And I would not be at all surprised if characters from some of the Big Finish stories appear once in a while on New Who. Not have anything to do with Disney, but I think Russell kind of is open to that. So I think that
take some writers.
It's good news.
Yeah, I mean they did drop a few of those names in with Paul McGann's short Night of the Doctor.
That was Moffat. That was Stephen Moffat.
That was Moffat, though.
But that's still a case of bringing in Big Finish into regular canon. It's definitely there's precedent.
I got the feeling that Russell was, on the one hand, wanting to introduce Doctor Who to a new audience so that he was careful about, during his initial run, not having too many references. But we all know how much he loves the franchise. And I think after he now saw what Moffat did and got away with, I think he would be much more open to throwing a lot more references in now.
Mm-hmm. I'm still team. Let's see Paul McGann.
Oh, I would love to see a Paul McGann spin-off series.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Now we can.
Yes.
We can always see Paul McGann, but Yi chose getting in Chang Li.
But just remember, he doesn't do robes, so it's okay.
Yeah,
I love that he didn't do robes. I absolutely adored that.
There always has to be one. Yes.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
That was.
But I think it's definitely something that now that those characters that Fox owned and hence Disney owns theoretically could be brought back in some way. And I think that's a great thing, because they were great actors. They were great characters. I'd love to see what Chang Li's doing, umpteen years later. Jeremy Raddick, the young little guard with way too much backstory. I would love to see what his character, is saving the Earth, because Dr. flat out says that, but you can't use those characters. But maybe now they can.
Maybe now they can. That's a big open door there. I hadn't thought of that, but that's a big opportunity there.
Oh, there's a huge opportunity too.
I wonder if this lays the groundwork for Disney later on. Like, again, Doctor Who's always BBC. BBC, after however long RTD wants to do his run, if he wants to go 2, 3, 4 years, whatever. If Disney then goes after that and says, hey, would you, RTD, like to become the Kevin Feige of Marvel, but you do it of Doctor Who, and we start working on all those other satellite Doctor Who projects, say, hey, BBC, how do we get the license for him to run it for Disney Plus content? I could see where this is.
I think he already is. I think he already is right now. I mean, we only know of one series. Well, 3 specials and then a series coming up. but we know he has plans for more. So I think he's already putting himself in that place, not working for Disney, but I mean, working for his own company, Bad Wolf.
Yeah.
So,
But working with Disney, yeah, I mean, Disney would probably love him to supply them with more content.
So the user asked, should they do a version of a live action version of Shout Out with Paul? As
they could. I honestly, if I had to choose, and this is bringing back the Big Finish thing, I wouldn't mind seeing the Stranded series that Paul's been doing, because those are really different. They're very Third Doctor-esque, with the Doctor being kind of stuck, and also the opportunity that Melanie wants to have the curator pop back in every now and then.
Hurry up. Just saying, Tom Baker needs to be with us for another 100 years, but just hurry up, just in case.
There's so many stories that they could do. There's so many stories that are available that haven't been told, that have been told. Paul McGann is the longest running Doctor, if you count Big Finish.
Well,
So,
only if you count Big Finish.
Only if you count Big Finish. Yeah,
he deserves the props.
No,
the thing about characters like Beep the Meep, and you're almost having it both ways, because actually Beep the Meep really is a new character to most people who are going to watch the series, because it's pretty obscure. Most people are not going to have no idea who Beep the Meep is.
No, they haven't read the original comics, so they
right. But it's a very nice Easter egg for those of us who are obsessed with Doctor Who.
Or you can give me Frobisher.
Just
toss Frobisher in there.
We brought that up in our last episode, that with Meep the Beep, it would be interesting to see if that leads into maybe Frobisher the Penguin hopping back in, because he's a shape changer, so he could be whatever and everything, but he's just everyone's favorite penguin. So
just to scroll back in the comments a little bit, someone had, when we first were talking about the Pops and Meep, it is Meep, MEEP, the Beep, BEEP, not Meet the Beep.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But it is an interesting character that has been in the previews. We know he's coming, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that character, given his history.
I'm going to be very curious to see what kind of treatment it does get on Disney Plus. I'll be very, will it get the channel, like we said, like the section, or we just have to scroll through like on HBO where, where's Doctor Who on here? Trying to dig through it.
We'll at least get a collection, if not multiples. I can see it being, here's the Doctor Who collection, here's the new Who collection, here's the classic Who collection as they need, or full on first Doctor, second Doctor collections. I'm sure they've done it with all sorts of things. They had here's all the Simpsons Halloween episodes. Yeah. Yes, again, they own Fox, so therefore they own the Simpsons. It's a little different,
right.
But they'll put out a collection for anything. Exactly.
They do it by doctors.
Yeah, well, exactly.
They love that, because that is a way that they can drive that content out to people in a different way. So I think I can't see them not doing it.
If they do bring the classics into it, you can also do arcs a lot easier, because Disney does a lot of arcs for different other shows, where if you want to get a crash course like in Clone Wars, they'll give you different arcs so that you can at least watch those.
Right.
And it would work. That would lend completely to classics, since that's how they built a lot of their stories.
Yeah, I could definitely see them having like a Dalek sort of category, like here's all the Dalek episodes or stories and
Cybermen,
that kind of thing. Cybermen or
River
whoever,
in Rivers
River Song.
Yeah.
And everything.
All sorts of great options, and I'm sure they will.
It would be kind of fun. It would be kind of fun if they did the River songs in order, the way they.
That's what I mean.
Exactly.
Well, you have that choice.
Yeah.
That's the thing about streaming. You can watch them in whatever order you want.
Exactly.
And here's River's order, and here's everybody else's order.
Exactly.
This is how it was aired.
I mean, it's a little bit. They're Netflix is experimenting that with Kaleidoscope, so I can't. Why would Disney not want to go, oh, well, they're doing it that way over there. Let's try and cobble that together with what we've got.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It'll be very interesting to see what they do. But, as we always like to say, it's always great to just have all the doctors. And,
Yes.
you know, and it'll be interesting to see what 14 is going to be like, and then Shooty as 15. And, you know, so. And
I love that photo because it also has Ruth Doctor in there.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I chose it.
Who also
Well, it's
serves
got-
a spinoff.
Oh, she deserves so much more too. If you get a chance, do read the comic that they did.
Yeah, which is canon. They said that specifically is canon.
So definitely check it out.
Yeah.
It's a ton of fun. And the fine folks at Titan have been doing some amazing stuff with the comics and such. So
Yeah, I don't think that's going to change at all from what I understand. So
no.
Here's a question for everybody, and including the people in the chat. If assuming we get Classic Who on Disney Plus, do you want here's the dump, all Classic Who, or do you want them to kind of here's your first Doctor, and 6 months later here's your second Doctor, and another 6 months later here's your third, like drip it out by Doctor?
I want to dump it.
Dump everything.
Dump it in.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
dump it,
yeah.
but dump it, but break it up by the
Yes.
doctor.
Yeah, I mean, categorize
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I would like to
Yeah,
go to a
oh, yeah,
buffet,
yeah,
but
yeah,
now all the
obviously,
dishes
yeah,
are
yeah.
sorted correctly.
I
Yeah.
say
that-
dump it because a lot of people, this will be an opportunity because it'll all be in one place, right? So
Mhm.
this will be an opportunity for those people who are curious or excited about Doctor Who, whatever, to be like, okay, I want to see Doctor Who from the beginning, and then go from the beginning, and then, you know, but if there's things missing, there's stories missing. I mean, we all know there's really stories missing, but I mean, if they haven't released them yet or whatever, then that's just frustrating to people. So they want, I think audiences now want everything now, and they want to be able to start at the beginning and just keep going.
A lot of people are completists, and they want to see everything that's out there and watch it in order, you know, everything.
And I don't disagree with that, but at the same time, they've also started going the opposite direction with a lot of stuff, where instead of the dump, here's a week, here's a week, here's a week, old school cable style.
Yeah,
So
but
even
I
if it was a
think
first
That's
Doctor,
new
That's the way that
content,
that's
though.
the way they do.
that's
Like,
new content. I think it makes more sense if you have already
Yeah.
existing content to just dump it.
Oh, exactly.
well, to be like, okay, Doctor Who's available on Disney Plus, everybody, and you go to Disney Plus, and everything there. Like, it's like, oh my goodness, you know, like
Right.
I think
I don't want it to be,
that's great.
Doctor Who's now on, and all it is Eccleston.
Yeah. The counter to that,
You have to wait till next month to get the Tenet episodes. Come on.
yeah,
the counter
that
to that is
kinda,
there's a lot of people who don't start Doctor Who for the same reason I've never watched Supernatural. That's a heck of a time commitment,
Oh yeah.
or not even, or at least its perception of oh wow, oh that's a lot, that's overwhelming. That's whereas if you did kind of drip it out regularly, well in advance, know exactly what's going on, you get less of that.
Yeah, but Disney's very good about giving you those, like I said before, arcs or best ofs, or
Yeah.
these are the
and
highly rated
video
ones.
package clips of like,
Right.
hey, we'll summarize everything. Like for every time a Marvel movie comes out or a Marvel TV show, they always spotlight some of the heroes, villains, characters, whatever, in their little like 5-minute things, so you can understand what's come before. They're really, really good about marketing trailers and promos and all that sort of thing. So this is going to be like a dream for them, because they'll be able to come up with some stuff that, you know, if you're new to Who, boom, watch these. You'll know what's going on, and you'll
And
know
it'll go
where
by
to start.
character too. I mean, they could do ones that are just Master. They'll go, okay, here's Delgado.
Right.
You know, like best
And that is
of. Here
something
you go.
we haven't brought up yet. Is
Yeah.
we get those little packages as behind the scenes 5-minute documentary style stuff?
I
That'd
sure
be
hope
very
we
cool.
do.
Yeah.
But I think with Disney, I think we will get it. I do.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they want the viewers.
And they've done. I mean, they've
and also
consistently
with
done that for other.
RTD, RTD likes doing that sort of thing.
Yep. Yeah, bring back the Doctor Who confidentials.
Oh, I would
Yes,
love.
and the mini-sodes.
Yes. Those I want all on, like, you know, classic series, whatever. But I want all of that content, the Doctor Who confidentials, the mini episodes, that all that stuff that they filmed that a lot of people missed. Like
The
I missed
children
some
in
of that
need.
stuff. The children need stuff would be cool,
Yeah.
right?
The total amount of time for watching all 36 seasons of the show, old and new, is 28 days, 18 hours, and 5 minutes.
See, you can
That's in a
binge it in a
row.
weekend.
I
Go.
mean, it's only a
Oh.
month out of your whole life. I mean,
That's
Exactly.
that's just next month. That's just February.
there you go.
Exactly.
Go
There you go.
You got plans.
More than-
February is Doctor Who month.
What
Boom,
else are
done.
you going to do in February anyway?
Exactly.
That math
So-
seems off to me. Either way, it doesn't matter. Just only because I think there's more seasons than that. But whatever. 'Cause it wasn't the end? Didn't it end on season 26 with Sylvester?
I don't.
And we're
don't
going
don't
into
recall.
to 15.
I'm not.
So it's like-
I'm not
Ask the
able to
hive
check
mind.
anybody's math.
Either way,
Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
it's
Only a
Take
month,
their
not
word
that
for
long.
it.
Just start using your PTO. I mean, come on. So many people
Come on.
don't use their
Really?
time off. Use your time off.
Staycation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Screw
Vacation.
going to the beach. You can go anywhere. You can have adventures in time and space. What beats that? What's that? That's
Yeah.
the best
Think
vacation.
of all the historical figures you get to meet.
From the comfort of your own home.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Hire a
Exactly.
No running. No
From-
running involved.
Exactly. From watching the Doctor try to bash his companion's head in with a stone, and all the way into, all the way through the Chris Chibnall era. Oh, okay, never mind. So there
Here
you
we
go.
go.
All right, here's a question for everybody, because I this might get into some story stuff, so I don't know how much we want to discuss that and possible potential story things. But obviously, one thing that Chibnall left us with is a potential or a Doctor Who multiverse. Do we want that to continue? Do we want to see? I mean, there is the idea that that David Tennant is playing a different Doctor from a different universe, that there may be some things in play there. We don't know, but I mean, is that something that, that opens up the franchise even more. And of course, Marvel's had a lot of success with the multiverses. Other franchises, not so much. So is it something that you think that you want to see or that you think will happen?
I'm hoping for the Doctor 10-2 and Rose just so I can hear Mike Faber talk about it. I'm so
Just
ready.
to spite
I
Faber.
ship it.
Wow, what happened wrong? Wow.
That's the other thing you can't do when it's not live. That is fun.
He's already shown that there's Pete's World, so I wouldn't mind seeing Pete's World. He kind of already alluded to the whole multiversal,
I'll
all
be
the
very
universes.
Oh
curious.
yeah,
I'm sorry,
multiverse as a
Dimension
concept
Canon Rose.
isn't
Yeah.
new to Doctor Who. It's-
No,
No, but I mean, I think they specifically opened up the idea of a consistent like multiverse structure in Flux that we hadn't experienced before. We'd seen parallel universes and that kind of thing, but not like that.
I just want to see it all that, everything we learned in the Chibnall era is gone. So it's,
jeez.
it's just
jeez.
flown out the
I
window.
knew it.
Got our
It's gonna
Chibnall
happen this
dashing in.
episode.
Exactly.
I'm the opposite. I
36
don't. I
seconds.
want them to explain what not explain away what Chris Chibnall did, but explain what he did and make it make sense. Right? I don't want.
You're
them to just
asking for the
ignore-
impossible, Dave.
Well,
Yes, I am.
You want
Yes, I am.
Hold your breath.
We have Disney money
You have
now.
60
I
years
don't
of
want.
history
I don't
to
want
do
to.
it,
I don't want to
Makes sense.
burden Russell with that kind of
Yeah. To dream
Huge,
the impossible
huge effort.
dream.
exactly. No, he's
Hire the
he's
next
free.
guy now and give him years to figure it out.
Yeah, I think RTD has already moved on from
Yes.
that era.
Oh yeah, that
Oh.
I'm positive of.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We don't. I don't focus on it, but I really would hate to see those giant loose ends stay loose forever.
How many
Yeah.
times
It doesn't
has
have to be
Gallifrey
right
been
away. It
destroyed on the show or whatever? So
Yeah.
So it's because Doctor Who. Come on.
Time
I
can
think
be
as you get more
rewritten.
good writing happening, and that slowly other stuff comes in, you go, you know what? Maybe if we tied that one little thing to this little thing, it'll make sense.
Yeah,
Just
Chris
let it
Chibnall-
happen.
What was it, Chris Chibnall and making sense in the same sentence? Come on,
know,
on.
right?
No, not going to happen. I think we have more chance of seeing Pete's World. Come on.
Ah, come on, Pete's World.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Doctor Who went went the way of making spin-offs that are multiverse oriented, because that actually, I think, could really work with the Doctor Who universe. And I don't, as a concept, I think it's fine as long as it's done well. I think it just needs good writers and good production.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then, I mean, I think it's perfectly fine as a concept.
I think it's going to be very interesting to see what they come up with. And I think we're at the beginning of an amazing era for Doctor Who. I think we're going to see some amazing content later this year. God, it's weird to say that already. It's later this year already. But, we still have, 10 months, 11 months till we get there. And it'll be very interesting to see what happens with this, what happens with the Disney stuff, what happens with the merchandising, what happens with the streaming. And, we don't know. And when we find out, of course, we'll be giving all this to you guys, because this is what we do. We're podcasters. When we find out, we're parrots. We go blah 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 blah.
One thing I think we can be sure of, at least I feel pretty sure about this, is this is the longest we're going to have to wait for Doctor Who, New Who in a long time. Like, I think from now on, we're not going to have to wait near this long for Doctor Who content.
Yeah, well, RTD's already said he wants to get back on a schedule of Doctor Who every year.
He said new Doctor Who's going to be once a year, and then he said between the spin-offs it's going to take up, the off time.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be great. That's great for us as fans. That's great for us as podcasters because we have something new to talk about. And that's great for us who are trying to avoid reviewing Trial of the Time Lord.
Yes.
Save us, RTD. You're our only hope.
No. Don't get me started, but someone actually posted online that the new David Tennant Doctor is actually the Valyard. So I'm not.
Oh, that word came up again. Wow, it always does.
It always has to come up, yeah.
Yeah. So, for those of who only watch the new series and don't know what the Valyard is,
then you're
ignore
fine.
what I just said.
Yeah, you're good.
You just don't know.
You don't have to worry about
Don't
it.
Google it.
No. It'll be more painful than you could ever imagine. So awesome, guys. I think that is going to wrap up this episode. Thank you, everyone who has been chatting with us over in the chat rooms. Thank you. It has been really appreciated. We've had some great stuff. And you know what? I think it's going to be real interesting to see what adventures we have coming up over the next couple months and, years. And, Doctor Who's not going away. And that's what we are thankful for. We all have new Doctor Who to be coming our way and for us to see. And you know what? Thank you very much. Let's thank everybody for joining us, of course. And Melanie, thank you as always for being here with us.
Thank you for always having me. It
always feels like
it's always fun.
It always feels like when we do a live episode, Melanie has to be here. It's like
yay!
She has a permanent seat here, so it's awesome.
That's awesome. I like it a lot.
Exactly. You look nice and comfy in it, so it's very cool. Anything you want to promote or shout out about?
The big one would be this weekend, the 21st, 22nd. I will be at Central Florida Comic Con. It's going to be in Lakeland, Florida. So we're going to be doing we're going to have with the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. So we'll have panels and we'll be talking Doctor Who. So if you're in the area, stop on by and say hello.
Awesome. And Mr. Chapman, thank you as always, my friend.
Thank you for having me as always.
And anything you want to promote or talk
about? Tomorrow on my channels, that link tree address will get you to all of my stuff. I'm going to be talking to Travis Hansen. He is an RPG artist and web cartoonist for Life of the Party. And we're going to be talking about the whole open gaming license controversy that is exploding all over the tabletop gaming universe, which will impact things like Doctors and Daleks, the 5th edition Doctor Who game. So definitely tune in. That will be at 4 o'clock Mountain, 6 o'clock Eastern on my YouTube and everything.
Yeah. Go to the link tree, folks. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have it up in the show notes also for those who are actually listening at home still. And, why aren't you joining us for the fun on the live stuff, folks?
Right?
It's awesome. It is awesome. So, of course, let's thank our regulars for being here. Ms. Mary Ogle, thank you as always.
Oh, thank you for having me. What a fun discussion. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the future is going to bring.
Awesome, awesome. And anything you want to shout out about?
You can find my artwork at maryogle.com or on Etsy at eVision Arts.
Awesome. And Mr. Mike Gordon, we made it through another one, my friend.
We did, and as always, it's my pleasure.
Anything you want to shout out about or anything?
Well, convention season is upon us. I've got one coming up this weekend in Atlanta, Georgia. It's in Uhaley. It's Atlanta's Tiki Weekend. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's the first convention of the year. And of course, Mike, you have more details on this, but we'll be in Pensacon, next month?
Yep, at the end of next month, we could officially announce it. Earth Station Who, the 3 hosts, are going to be together live. We are going to be doing a Doctor Who panel on Saturday at Pensacon. So I'm very excited about it, and we'll have more details as everything is nailed down. But if you're in the Pensacola area and actually want to meet quite a few doctors, all the classic series doctors except for Tom are going to be there, who are the ones who are still alive, because it'd be kind of scary if the other ones were there.
and they won't be alone.
Exactly. They'll have their companions with them. And Chris Eccleston will be there. Barrowman's going to be there. Donna's going to be there. So you're going to get quite a few folks and everything. So they have
I'm at the wrong end of the continent.
Yeah.
And the wrong
it's
country.
pretty amazing for the 60th anniversary what Pensacon did and everything. And it's very cool. Thumbs up, folks. And we're very much looking forward to being down by the beach. So it'll be a lot of fun. Because all of us, have beach bodies and we're all tan really
Obviously.
well. Yeah,
Obviously.
Exactly. Look at these muscles. It's going to be a gun show, brother. That's right.
Why bring a 6-pack when you have the whole keg?
Exactly. Oh, God.
That's right.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Wow. Okay. Join us again next time on Earth Station Who, when we are going to be going back and we are looking at our friend River Song. That's right, folks. We are looking at Series 7 of the Diary of River Song. So it should be awesome. So join us, sweeties. We would really appreciate it. So until then, my name is Mike Faber. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this. This has been a ton of fun. And hopefully, we'll see you on the other side. Peace, and we will talk. Ciao. Bye, everybody. We miss you already. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Say goodbye. Push the button already. Bye. He's as bad as Christian. He's just taking himself out. Okay, now it's just us, Mary. Hey, it's just me. Hello, everybody. And he's going to take me out any second, I'm sure. But we're still live, so I'm going to have